Ladies and gentlemen, today we're casting Mineski versus XP. This is Premier League, brought to you guys by Ainge, sponsored by Twitch TV, and of course presented by DotaCommentaries.com. I am Luminous from DotaCommentaries and on YouTube, and we have a exciting game number 2 between Mineski and XP. Mineski has been playing for a long time, so before we start, I want to dish out a huge round of shout out, especially to the Southern East Asian watchers that's been watching since what, 2300. It's probably like, I don't know, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. your time. Give yourself a pat on the back for staying that long, and well, actually pretty bad for your sleeping schedule for school, but anyways, give yourself a pat because you guys are staying a long time to watch Dota. Legit stuff. And of course, shout out to the European viewers out there, and also a shout out to the commentary staff for helping us set up these games, A3 and Diamond specifically, to moderate the chat and all that stuff. Thank you guys. So we have a very smooth presentation today. And last game, don't get me started on that last game. Oh my goodness, Mineski. I'm a Mineski fan, don't get me wrong on that, but out of position multiple times, interesting. Oh, item choices are fine, just out of position. That had a one game for them in my opinion, and they lost it. It's okay, it's okay. Another day, another game. Mineski, let's see if they can redeem themselves. They have lost 3 games in a row so far. And let's see if they can take one away from XP. XP still remains undefeated today so far. And Brewmother is going to be the first pick here for XP. But Loda and his team in that last game also had a very questionable play. There was a play where they did not have a TP scroll to defend the racks. And you would assume the experience of Loda, Aki, and Miracle would prevent them to make mistakes like that. But hey, mistakes are mistakes. But hey, this is game number 2, so let's forget game number 1 for now. For anyone that missed game number 1 or the previous games, they will be made available on DotaCommentaries.com. Check out the VOD section under Premier League. Sand King's going to be the second hero here as a counterpick to Brewmother. We've been seeing this more and more. And as a hero on paper, he's definitely a very good counterpick, especially if you lane the 2 against each other, right? Brewmother cannot push against the Sand King, at least not as easily, given that the Spawn Spiralings will have a little bit of trouble pushing against Sandstorm, Cosmic Finale, or Burrow Strike, every one of those spells, or AoE. Brewmother cannot kill the Sand King, simply the fact that it has Burrow Strike and Sandstorm as a defensive measure. And during the mid-game stage, we could use Blink Dagger Initiation to go right in against a Brewmother, stun him, pop that dust, and have your teammates to be set up. So really good counter to Brewmother overall as a hero. But here on the other side here, XP is going to be going that Venomancer once again, anti-Hunter, so very comfortable with that support backline. And we saw in that last game, in the early outside of the game, they were able to do a lot of work simply because they had really good ganking potential through the Gush and the Venomancer Gale. That's nice. They taper off during the mid to late game. In fact, they were probably very useless in the mid to late game. But the nice intangibles they bring to the table, you know, Gush minus armor, and then he had Medallion Courage minus armor. So you had a very good single target minus armor. We have Blink Ravage from the Tide. That's also nice. We have pushing and an anti-pushing capability. We have big AoE ultimates being dropped. So these are the very small intangibles in the late game stage, which can actually make a pretty big difference as far as hero goes. Back on the other side here, it's going to be Windrunner and Shadow Shaman being picked up by the Mineski team. So going for a little bit more mobile, spammy kind of lineup here. As we see, these lineups is fairly mobile. They push tower very easily. We have great initiation play. This is more of a Mineski lineup than the previous one. This one, they kind of run and gun, gank all over the place. And that, to me, to be honest, it fits Mineski's play a little bit more. They don't have to get into those late game situations, which I actually think Mineski is very weak at. As you saw in that last game, many late game mistakes, like a hero going off position and then forcing your teams fight 4v5, things like that. Mineski generally not that good at the late stage of game, but what they're really good at is the mid and early game. And these heroes are very capable of winning the game right at that stage. So let's see if Mineski is going to go for that. XP banning Dragon Knight, and right off we have Mineski banning the Weaver. Gonna be banning a couple carries. And I do wonder how the XP team is gonna be laning in this. Now, generally as a Brewmother, we see her more and more as a solo, But lately, we've been seeing, more supports going in that lane. Sometimes you see a Shaker in the lane. Sometimes you see like a Crystal Maiden in the lane, or even a Lion in the lane. And you could send those supports in a jungle, and jungle with spawn spiderlings. Or when necessary, if you want to play a little bit more defensive, you could keep that here on the lane and make sure that Brood Mother doesn't die. So we might not see a trial lane, although that is definitely a very high possibility. Dragon Knight Void is going to be the bans here for XP. Meanwhile, the Radiant side is going to ban a Slaughter and Weaver, so both sides banning carry. When so many carries are out of the playing field, Lifestealer would be a very, very strong choice once again here. XP thinking about their heroes. So far they have 0 stuns, or if you count Ravage as a stun, that is a stun, but that is not a spammable one. So far 3 slows, 1 stun. Okay laning presence from the Brood Mother, and of course these two are very strong roamers. Still missing a carry and still missing from a solo mid position. There's your solo mid hero being picked up as an Ancient Apparition. That's also a threat in terms of a very, very potent tri-lane, so you can't count on him going mid. You can see another hero go mid instead. Very, very potent hero that is going to be very disruptive to Sand King, especially when he wants to blink in later on. Very disruptive to the fact that he can't use his blink dagger. And it looks like we have Spectre once again here from the Radiant side. So his idea is going to be out tanking the enemy team. And it looks like we're going to have Mineski foregoing their late or early game playing style, and it's going to be going for another late game strat. And kind of like what I said earlier, I don't believe Mineski have enough practice to really make a late game strat work perfectly. But we'll have to wait and see.
10 seconds remaining.
Of course, the Spectre can be played as a little bit of a early game aggressor as well. I mean, she does have the ability to hunt in and join her teammates in the fight. But generally, that's not the thing that you're looking for, especially when you pick up a Spectre. Like, you'll be like, oh yeah, man, we want a ganking carry, so let's pick up a Spectre. That's definitely not the train of thought, I guess. They're feeling very comfortable, I presume, with their picks. I feel like they have a good mix of... I mean, look at this AoE teamfight combination. Venomancer, Poison Nova, plus a Blast and Ravage. Half the team would be literally dead. Literally half dead. Or dead, if all these spells hit. So... I think just having a team fight is great. In terms of laning, they're not too bad. I mean, if this 3 guys pair as a tri-lane, it's a for sure kill on any one guy. So they have the laning advantage as well. Of course, again, AA could go, mid. We could have Tie Hunter go top with the Brood, Venomancer go top with the Brood, and then the other 2 going on the bottom lane. Like, we have a lot of laning choices here on the Dire side. But what they don't have is time, as they're winding down. 10 seconds left. It's going to be a Storm Spirit. PyCat played a decent Storm in game number 1. I can't say it was really game breaking, but it was decent enough. Looks like we're going to have Storm mid, Brood top, Tri-lane bot. Again, Venomancer could go top as well, so we'll have to wait and see here. So right now the Radiant side up a lot against a lot of initiation. We have basically 4 initiators. 3 initiators, I guess. But more importantly, the teamfight potential of the Dire side is just insane. How is the Radiant team going to answer this? That's the question. 50 seconds up for the Radiant side. Now, if you look at the Dire side, what they don't have is spammable spells. Tie Hunter Ravage, once he uses that, he's done. Venomancer, once he uses his Poison Nova, he's pretty much done, because Poison Nova costs like half his mana pool, so he doesn't have mana pool to do anything else anymore. Ice Blast in a very short scale engagement. After he drops his ultimate, he's pretty much done as well. Well, he has Ice Vortex to help out, he has Cold Feet, but his biggest DPS output is done. So what Radiant can take advantage of is the long cooldown of these ultimates and force very quick and rapid team fights. And these heroes are very good for that. They have real low short cooldown of their spells. You can spam continuously. Earthshaker is going to be the last pick here. So in terms of laning, we're going to have Rasta mid, a tri-lane bot with the Spectre and a Sand King solo, I guess? Not too sure about this. This is a very defensive pick here. Not even defensive in the sense that, oh, they're pushing us, so let's pick up a shaker. But defensive in the fact that, hey, we just want to play in a lane that hopefully we get 0 kills and they get 0 kills as well. They're really wanting to go late game. Of course, Rasa Sanking will give you the early game pressure to pick up a couple of towers if you need to be. But definitely going for late game. Jules is going to be playing the Spectre here. May going to be on the Shaker. Woods usually playing the support, might be going solo mid with a Rasa. He's picked up Ether Shock first, so you know that he's not going for a support in the lane. And he's also picked up a Magic Stick first, so I assume he's going to go mid. Looks like Jay's going to be on playing the Sand King, and RR going to be on the Windrunner. Back on the other side of the map here, we have... You guys seeing this? Make sure I'm not... Okay. Make sure I'm not like shoutcasting with a black screen or something. Miracle on the Tidehunter. He has wards. Loda gonna playing the Storm. Ooh. I'll talk about Loda in just a bit. Aki gonna be playing the Venomancer. And Pinoy gonna be solo mid. So we have a tri-lane Storm. Believe it or not, we have a tri-lane Storm. And it looks like Pycat here is gonna be meeting up against a dual lane, I presume. Seems like a dual lane here. Sanking Rasa on top? Yeah, Sanking no? Shaker on bot, Rasa mid, Sanking top solo. Yeah, nice prediction by XP. They're saying we know that they're going to expect the Broodmother on top lane, and thus we know that they're going to put the Sanking on top lane, so we're going to screw him over hardcore and put our trolling on top lane here. And of course, Broodmother is going to be absolutely fine, and I think that web was used too early. Yeah, it's too early. Now they could do immediate lane switch, because now they know Broodmother's on the bot lane. Let's see if they're gonna keep staying with this lane. I think if this laning advantage go like the way that seems like it's go, if Sand King versus this tri-lane on top, this Sand King's gonna be dead, and he's gonna have no farm at all. I'm surprised that Mineski didn't go for a big trade. But okay. Uh oh, Sand King. Don't mess around, man. Don't mess around. There's a couple of hits. Gale. Oh, nice dodge on Gale. Or a mistake from Aki popping that Gale. But anyways, they're going to scare him away from the lane. He's going to get very little XP. Stormsphere is going to have a free time, free farming, last sitting. Unfortunately, we don't have a pool over here. That's going to be... That means that I guess we could pull this camp. As we have a pause from Pinoy. Tidehunter is going to be a roaming in the mid lane, trying to get himself a small advantage for his Ancient Aberration, and then he could leave the lane freely. As you can see now, Mineski sending a couple of illusion runes on the mid lane. On the bot, Broodmother does not care. He could trade farm here against Jules all day long. Once he gets up his Soul Ring, he could spend Spirelings in the jungle. This pull generally hurts other laners very much so, but because he has his webs, he could survive in the lane very easily. Do we have sentry wards? The question here. So far, no sentry wards. We do have 2 chicken, which is very, very common. But for the most part, I think the laning advantage very much so in XP. All they have to do is not make big mistakes and capitalize on the laning advantage they have, and just go for a very, very safe advantage into the mid game. Just want to give a quick shout out to the Premier League Facebook page. They are giving away 10 beta keys. So if you guys are looking for a beta key, you can check that out. Also on my YouTube channel, I've been giving away 30 beta keys. So you can check out my latest video on that as well. A couple of disconnects, pulling the plugs, replugging the plug. Hi Cat, evidently having a little bit of internet issues. Hopefully the game will resume momentarily, because I'm sure y'all have things to do, and I have things to do. You know what I hate about the Dota 2 pause system? When you pause, you have one line. You can say one line. So you better make that one line count. And I guess we could check out farm. Mid lane Rasta's got 2 creep kills and 1 deny. He's actually doing better than Pinoy. So the last hits in this lane were like non-existent. Bot lane here, Brewmother's got no farm. Jules got 4 creep kill, and there's only what, 1 creep wave so far? 2 creep waves? That's pretty decent. Our prophet on DotaComSeries.com apparently knows the result of this game already. I think what he's trying to say is that, and I'm literally putting words in his mouth, but what I think he's trying to say is that XP has the better picks. Which, to that, I agree. I put words in his mouth and I agree with it. That's how legit it is I am, right? So, XP right now has the better lanes, in my opinion. They have the better teamfight capability. As long as they don't make this game go for like an hour, I don't see Mineski, unless Mineski just plays perfect. Looks like we're going to be back after that long pause. Uh-oh. Looks like Venomancer just getting like a lot of free hits in against JJ. Unfortunately, I had to pop a tango. No big deal. Alright, here we go. Tidehunter gonna come around here as we see Winner Illusions. Gonna show them who's boss. Actually doing quite a bit of damage. Brewmother gotta be careful, but no Sentry Wards. Do not care. Copycat has a regen under the web, so really, yeah, he has quite a bit of regen as well. Sankey may be pinging for a lane switch, because you know he can't handle this lane at all, really. He's going to have a tough time in this lane. And the bot lane here, they're going to have a tough time as well. Though, Mineski feeling confident that they don't need to do a lane switch. Alright, there's a... Alright, I'm not sure what that's going to accomplish. Back in the top lane here, you can see Tidehunter doing a fairly good job. He's going to be doing a little bit of pull. That's going to deny a lot of XP, and if I'm sure Aki what he's trying to do right now is maybe trying to get this pull up to this creep as well. He's trying. Oh, that's too late. He's going to try to pull to the left. He's not going to get the pull off. Come on, Aki! Come on! You're better than that. He's missing a pull. Back in the mid lane here. This is a very tame game. Like, no one lane's going to kill each other. If the death is going to happen, it's probably going to happen on the top lane, Sankey being out of position. But for the most part, looks like I'm going to just stick to the mid lane for a bit, as we see quite a bit of spell harass. It looks like he just picked up a regeneration rune. Bottle should be coming up right now. Yep, indeed it will. No, there's a bottle going bot lane. No, it's going to swing back to the mid, and that's going to be helpful. Maybe they're going to set up a kill. Venomancer is still level 1. A Gale into Kofi, I don't think that will actually be enough slow to bring Shadow Shaman. There's a Kofi just coming back. Shadow Shaman does not care. As we see first blood on the top lane. Expected on Sanking, and also expect the fact that I missed it. My bad. A pull into a gush, a couple of right hits. Sanking a little bit out of position. Sentry Ward on the... No Sentry Ward on the ground. How does Sanking die? Well, obviously he can't stay in a position forever since there's, static remnants and everything, but still. Bottle is up on the Shadow Shaman, being really nicely kept back by Aki. On the bot lane here, one thing that you can do against Brewmother's lane is push against him. Might be a little bit dangerous to do considering that you're going to be fighting under his web the whole time. But Broodmother doesn't have the best counter pushing ability. But unfortunately this trialing isn't a very pushy trialing either. So Mineski's kind of out of options at this point. They don't want to farm against the Brood, because Brood's actually going to get more farm than an Spectre. Windrunner picks up a haste, but we have Blue might be in a little bit of trouble. Is Gale going to hit? Gale's not going to hit. Windrunner's going to do quite a bit of harassing against Pinoy. Keep him back. Some Pinoy and Pinoy action. Jules did last hit up to a Ring of Health, so he's basically fine lane. He's going to pick up a Stout Shield, and that's going to be really nullify pretty much all the Spidering harass coming his way after he does that. He's actually going to trade a couple of free hits against Pycat. Pycat, is he up to his Soul Ring yet? He does have to go to buy it right now if he wants to do so. I'm not too exactly sure what he's waiting for. He could easily go past, but there is a Sentry on the ground. Maybe he's a little bit afraid of that one. Back on the top lane here, Tidehunter level 3.5, almost hitting 4. Loda level 6, so they could easily get a kill on Sanking. How are we doing Sanking? Level 3.5. So the Tidehunter who's doing the roaming and the ganking, same level here. As we see Pycat coming in right now. Do we have enough Sentry Warrior? If they get a good enough block, you could go for a kill. He's freaking juking like crazy. Soul Ring's purchased. Alright. It's okay. He's okay. It's like freaking doing a dance under his webs. Loda doing a very good job in terms of controlling lane, denying a lot of EXP to Sanking. Looks like we have a roam here from Miracle going to the mid lane, almost hitting level 4. Aki getting a little bit of mid XP from the Ancient Apparition here, as we see Misha being forced back to the jungle, really afraid of gank. He will have Bottle Crow regen, so he's not really too afraid of the regen. He just can be missing the EXP. Ancient Apparition not level 6 yet, so won't be able to setting up those ganks. And I bet you once Pinoy turns level 6 and he has us freed. Kofi, Ice Vortex, Misha's gonna be dead for sure. He drops a Master Serpent Ward. He's gonna get poisoned down. Gush goes down. I'm not too sure whether that's the best use of the Master Serpent Wards, because guess what it's doing? Nothing. And well, R's gonna come around, maybe look for a Venomancer. He's gonna find. I mean, he's gonna see the Venomancer, but he's not gonna get a kill. No boots on either of the hero. No one here to come and support. So this is 110 seconds cooldown on that Serpent Ward. He could have got a tower push down. Unfortunately, didn't get anything done. Fissura's gonna drop, and Kofi round the A blast for a kill. Nicely done here. Here comes the Brewlings doing a little bit of block and a little bit of right click. Ancient Apparition picks up a double kill. 0-4 in favor of the Dire side, and that's exactly what you expect for the advantage being produced. These really nice laning. Sanking really low HP. He knows he has to get back off. He should be backing off unless he has a bottle curling. Yep, of course. This is Mineski we're talking about. Of course I have that bottle coming. And here comes Tidehunter. He's going to come around. Do we have a Sandstorm on it? No, he doesn't. He's got to be really careful. But yes, bottle is coming, and rightfully so before the cooldown of A Ice Blast. So he could regen up and be A-okay. Here we go, maybe trying to set up a gank here. Did you see? Oh, Shackle. Alright, there's Shackle. You got to chains on this one perfectly almost. Burrow. There's a Burrow. Alright, Ethershock's going to do the job. Nicely done here, setting up that kill. That's Mineski's first kill. And they need to do way more than that. Master number 1 cooldown is still 30 seconds. So won't be using that. How are we doing in the farm on the Spectre? He's doing okay. 600 gold in the bank after a Stout Shield. So going for that Vanguard Rush. He can pick up a boots anytime he wants to. Back on the mid lane, it looks like R is going to get a little bit of free farm, get more importantly, get some EXP. Level that Power Shot a little bit more, level that Shackle Shot a little bit more. It'll be really helpful to your team. As we see it zip on the top lane here for Jay. There's a Fissure and a Shackle him. Got a Chain Stun that perfectly. There's an Enchant Totem as well. Really horrible Chain Stun from Mineski. They were just lobbing every single spell on him. But that's not the way you kill the Storm. You gotta really make sure that he's not moving. And that was not what happened at all. But Ethershock and help with this ward. Nicely done. That's a steal almost. So they got the kill right there. And Tidehunter being surrounded. Oh, here comes Misha. He's going balls deep. Here we go. Haunt just for the sight. Ethershock's gonna do it. Fissure gonna grab the kill. Great. That's gonna put themselves back in the map 3 and 4. But it looks like mid lane here. We have a little bit of engagement here as we see Jay in a little bit of trouble. And it looks like Jules went down to a Broodmother. How did this happen? I guess he didn't even have his ultimate use. Okay, so he's just spawn spiraling harassed. And the nuke harass, I guess. But he had Ring of Health. He has Stout Shield. Not too sure. Not too sure at all. Meanwhile, we have Shadow Shaman going crazy on skill build. What is this? No Hex and maxing Shackles? Not gonna lie, I have not seen this build at all, ever. But okay. Woots is playing it, so... We have Pycat here having a field day, farming all over the jungle. Let's check out how the Brood and the Spectre's farming. Spectre's got 39. Brood's got 40, but you know, he's just picked up on his farm. Because now with the Spiderlings, he's gonna farm like crazy. Unfortunately, a whole bunch of spiders just getting owned right now. It's Windrunner taking a lot of CS. They're trying to set up a gank here. Fortunately, Windrunner using quite a bit of her mana. Oh, here comes the Broodmother. Does she have the ultimate? At least force of Windrun being used. So now, you know, Pycat's gonna have his jungle back to himself. Back in the mid lane here. Misha still bottle crawling like a champ. He's getting his lane pushed a little bit here by Venomancer. And Spectre goes down once again. How did that happen? Man, I really need to pay attention to the minimap. He would TP top and he got picked off by Stormster and Tidehunter. Did Tidehunter use his ultimate? No, he just hit level 6. So Jules having a little bit of trouble staying in the lane. And now they finally put Copycat. Excuse me, they put Jay on the bot lane here against the Brood. But I think your Spectre is now in a little bit of trouble. Going down 0-2 in the past 2 minutes or so. Aki keeping up the creep pressure on the bot lane. Haste Rune's going to get used. And Pino could set up a kill on the mid lane. Good job here by the Radiant side, using a Crow to scout. They have very minimal vision. I'm not too sure whether they even seen Pino swing around. In terms of the hero movement, it looks like they might have. Being a little bit more defensive now. And Windrunner's going to be right here. Spawn Spiderling will see them. And they will see Sand King as well. Sand King might be in trouble. Here we go. Broodmother's going to come in. A Kofi. And as he Burrow strike out, nicely done. Air Blast! It's gonna miss, but here comes Tidehunter. Gush is gonna do it. There's a rabbit just for him, and of course Gush on the Shaker as well. Double kill going on the bot lane here, and they can push this because they have a Broodmother. Back on the top lane here, Spectre gotta be somewhat careful as well. Stormster should have the laning advantage here against Jules, simply because he's higher level. On the region, of course, more in favor of the Spectre side because he does have Desolate. I mean, he does have Dispersion and Ring of Health, but still. Loda has the Power Tress already up. It looks like he is going to be going for Orchids. The reason that Orchid is such a good item on Storm Spirit is because Storm Spirit doesn't actually... Storm Spirit's ultimate takes a percentage of your mana pool, right? What Orchid does, it doesn't give you too much in, it gives you some in. But compared to like a Hex, it gives you very little in. What it gives you a lot is a lot of regeneration. And for a Storm Spirit that use a percentage of your ultimate, having a higher mana pool by gaining more ints is actually not that good. Or, not the best thing at least. But by having a lower int pool but have, way more regeneration, that actually makes Storm Spirit's life a little bit easier. Here we go, there's some action. Where's the Hex? Where's the Hex? Where's the Shackle? Just really confusing play here from Boots. That was a free kill if they have a Shackle. But we're on the bot lane here. Jay in a little bit trouble. No mana on the Tidehunter. Uh-oh. Jay trying to run in. He is dusted. That's why he's not going to Sandstorm form. AI Splashers make sure they get the kill. Unfortunately, tower right on Copycat. Racist against spiders.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Looks like we're going to have a trade on the tower here, but it's a 3-man push, even with Master and Ward to drop down here. Even on the bot lane here, it's just a 2-man push with Broodmother by himself. So this push is definitely in favor of the Radiant side. Tower gets denied as well by Venomancer. Stormster TP's right in. They're going to focus on Jules. Jules takes a Venomancer, and a Gale to the face, but looks like Aki's going to go down to these Master and Ward. Stormster out of mana at this point. No, he's going to dip right in for Jules. Jules is going to go down. Echo Slam being dropped on 2 hero, but they're going to kite the Shaker. But no, here comes the Ether Shock from Misha. But look at Loda, aggressive play, going for the kill. There's your Shackle. Shaker, don't run. Right click, man up on Shaker. There you go. They're gonna get the kill. Jesus, don't scare me like that, May. Misha, whatever his name, Woots. He was manning up on that. So you gotta help out. And indeed, they help out. 6-11 though in favor of the Dire side. Tower getting pushed on the bot lane. How's Broodmother doing? Broodmother farming in the jungle. We're going to see a big gold difference lead in favor of the Dire side. Yep, 6k gold lead in favor of XP. Broodmother farming like an absolute champ. Got already 2k gold in the bank. She could be going for Orchid as well, but seeing that Storm is already going one, it's very likely she's going to be going for BKB instead. BKB very, very vital against Epicenter, against Sand stuns, against Shackle Hexes. So that's probably what he's going for. Back in the mid lane, looks like we have a little bit of pressure being ushered by these guys. Let's check out the tower goal difference, or tower difference. We have 2 towers being taken down and just 1 here on the Radiant side. Continuous amount of bottle crawling being done by the Radiant side. On the top lane here, looks like Stormster is zipping right in for Mei. Are we going to have the pull? That's the question. Air blast, but no pull! A miscommunication big time here from Nilda and Pinoy. They're like, yo, bro, what y'all doing? And Pinoy's like, yo, what are you doing? So, a little bit of misplay, but no big deal. Not too sure what did Loda's mouse just gone haywire. That was a free kill, literally. If he pulled, Anti-Splash would have hit, and that would have been it, but no big deal. They are very comfortably in the lead as we see Spectre just finish a 15-minute Vanguard. No boots, no treads, nothing, and he might just get ganked right now. There's going to be a Gush. Gale is going to try to hunt out. Goes where? Goes where? Where is he? Goes on the bot lane here. But Boomada says, oh, okay, free kill, no problem. And Gush Tidehunter TB's right in just for him. Good response here from XP. And that TP actually might have hurt the Spectre more. Because instead of just feeding to 3 support, he fed to the Broodmother. Meanwhile here we have Pinoy getting a kill on the Shadow Shaman. And the Courier just got killed. We're, by the way, in the tournament version. So if your Courier gets killed, it does not respawn in 3 minutes. You just lose a Courier. And whatever item is on it. Might have been a bottle on it. No, it looks like he has a bottle on himself. In any case, Mineski in big time trouble. Down by 7 kills here. Broodmother is farming uncontested. Spectre getting ganked. They're not really setting up their, the early game aggression because they don't have heroes to do so. Spectre definitely not really of that end. And they're not really going very successfully into the late game stage. And we might just see Mineski lose 4 games in a row today. Back on top lane here, XP Loda, free farming it up. Early when I said, oh, Loda's playing Storm, and I'm going to talk about it, well, here it is. One of Loda's biggest strength is the fact that he's a great farmer, but one of his biggest criticism by a lot of Dota community is that he actually farms way too much at times. But this is a couple years back when he was the carry player for his teams. There were occasions where he kept farming even though the game could have been won, right? Just kept on farming. And there were sometimes they farmed and then they lost the game because they overfarmed. Now I'm not saying that's exactly what Loda is going to do right here, but that is his I guess at least that's how he used to be. BKB gets popped. Mass Serpent Ward gets popped as well. Ravage gonna get on the Rasa. Rasa's gonna go down for sure. Broodmother, look at his damage output, insane. Shackle Shot not gonna latch. Broodmother's gonna find some farm here as well. Nicely done for him. 2 kills, and they're gonna go for a bot push. As the fight's not over yet, they're gonna go on Jay. Jace does it. He's gonna burrow strike out. They didn't get the kill. I don't think they care too much about that. Arcane Boots gets used, and here we go. The push is gonna continue. Phase Boot being picked up by Pino. He wants to go aggressive, as we see a Vid Booster on him as well. Tanking in position to burrow strike right in. Gotta be careful. Power shot, nicely done. Gets the kill on Tidehunter. As we see RR just going very aggressive. He's gotta be really careful. Ice Vortex and a couple of right clicks should do the job. Pycat not really in position to do too much about it. Here comes Haunt. What was that about? He used the Haunt and then what? Cancelled? What? I'm confused. Not too sure what he haunted for. But anyways, on Loda, there might be a possibility that he's going to farm and not gank as much. As you can see, Stormster not really ganking anything. He's just, the only kills that he's been getting is just from his lane. And generally that's a very, very unorthodox Storm play. And that might be a byproduct of kind of Loda's playstyle. He plays a carry, usually, and he just farms. Not to say this is a bad Storm playstyle, because you can see that he's going for a very high impact item. If you finish at the Orchid, he could actually really own really hard on heroes such as on the Sand King. But definitely, I'm not used to seeing a Storm that just farms for like 18 minutes, you know what I'm saying? 7-15 in favor of the dire side. Let's check out how we're doing in terms of farm. 50, 86, 18, 71. Pretty weak farm here on the Radiant side. On the Dire, we have 120 on the Brood. Insane farm. About 100 on Loda. Nicely done there as well. And then, of course, you guys mostly on support, so not too much farm. Unfortunately, Pinoy has literally no farm, but they do have quite a bit of tower gold. So because of that, he's able to pick up Phase Boot and Vid Booster. Really helpful to his survivability. And then also up to another 2k go. So he could finish the Vanguard if he wants to, or he could pick up a Force Staff in just a bit. Very aggressive ward being put down by the Dire side, and Radiant really defending, or excuse me, both sides have the wards up here, so they see the vision. And I wonder, will XP initiate on this right now? They do not need to initiate at all. There's really no pressure to. Stormster about 300 go away from his Orchids, and I do believe they're going to just bring down the tower on the bot lane, and then finish the Orchid, and then go for whatever they need to. Whether it's going to be a Roshan. Roshan will be a very easy Roshan, given the fact that they have pushed so much. Here we go, who's going to last the tower? If Loda gets this one, what she does, there is the Orchid 2 and 3, or Oblivion Staff 2 and 3, and there's going to be Orchid engagement going to go happen in the mid lane. Who is he shackling? Oops. Looks like someone has went down here. There's a Venomancer ult on Couple Hero. Looks like the Shackle was on Ancient Aberration, was being a little bit out of position. Venomancer ult is going to get dropped, but here comes the Stormster and the Tie Hunter. They're going to focus on Jay. Jay gets pulled. He's done. Vizier gets gone too, but Mass Serpent wards, and there's a Ravage on the low ground to the high ground. Miracle, very low HP. Very, very low HP. Mass Serpent ward being dropped and not doing anything. Not really liking Mineski's uses of that Mass Serpent wards, because the cooldown is really big, and it looks like Stormster getting them farm on the Mass Serpent wards. Aki's still in position. Gale is gonna hit, but not gonna do too much. Meanwhile, on the top lane here, we have Spectre getting some farm going. He doesn't have a TP scroll. Goodness gracious, Jules, what are you playing? He's gonna go down for sure. Storm zips in right now. There's a Silence AI blast right on his face. He's gone. We're seeing very uncharacteristic mistakes from Mineski. No TP scroll on Jules. Check out Spectre's farm here. He's only at 84, 0 and 5. He's having a tough day. I think the Mineski squad is just getting mentally and physically tired. It's probably 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning for them right now. After 4 Dota games. Mentally exhausting, I guess. But yeah, they're making mistakes that I never really see them make. But right now, XP is going to take it slowly. They have the advantage. They can go for the Roshan, and indeed they are doing that right now. Do we have the Medallion Courage? Looks like we don't. You don't need a Medallion Courage if you have the Ancient Aberration, because Kofi will break the Lincoln block on him. We'll get the stun on him, and of course you could Gush on him as well to get the minus armor. So they could definitely go for that if they do so, or they could go for a gank on Mei. And this is a high impact item I'm talking about here. Or get up on the Storm Spirit. He did spend a lot of time farming for that one, but once you get it done, you get free kills like that. On heroes such as Shaker, or on whoever else. The entire enemy team very weak against that. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Kofi and Gush right on the Roshan. Roshan's HP dropping very rapidly. Who's going to pick it up? Stormster, I presume. Unless Brew might have filled the need that she needs it. I don't think Brew needs it. So, of course, Brew, BKB already up. Going to be going for Demon Edge. Go different shot before the Roshan register. About 13,000. 1300? 13,000. 13,000 sounds right. Storm picks up the Aegis. BKB is going to be up in just about 1,600 gold. And I do believe right now XP could just go for a mid push and try to end the game right now. I do really believe they could do that. But there's no rush. Spectre's getting no farm at this point. Phase Boo's up, Vanguard's up, still no TP scroll. And he might be getting ganked. Man, he's lucky that they missed that AA blast on him. As we have a very tame stage in the game, gonna give another shout out to the Premier League Facebook page. They are giving away 10 beta